So here is the final product of the panel, addition to the Warthog throttle, and basically, yeah, here it is in all its glory. So I had it fabricated, I designed it, and then I had it fabricated. The company who fabricated the actual panel itself, I'll have them down in the, put it down in the description. Took about a day to have fabricated, and I think, let's say it took me about a couple hours to design it, and then actually sent the information, the design, over to him, and he had it fabricated. It took about a day and had it powder coated, and you can actually see it kind of looks like it's wrinkly, but it's actually not. It's flat. I like that, how it looks. It looks really good. I did want to make these get some labels. I have a label maker. That's how I get these labels on here, but I want to get see if I can find labels or like an actual tape itself that's non-reflective, so that it's it doesn't, so like if shown in the light, it'll like shine and you can't see anything. So I want some non-reflective labels. The electrical tape is just for the holes that I didn't need anymore. It just didn't go well with the design of it. Same with these up here, that one up here. But how this mounts to it is basically the underside of it. So if you were to take these 4 screws out on the bottom, the whole panel, the whole throttle will come off, and then you'll be left with just the bottom portion. So these holes, these 2 holes at the bottom, these are the holes where the actual these top screws mount to, and they fit really good. I didn't have to use any extra nut to cover the spacing for it, but the outside perimeter of the panel needed an extra nut. So as you can see, I put one at the bottom and just put it through. These spaces right here are 3D printed. They were like, I think about 10 minutes each. So spent about a little over an hour printing it, and printing these spacers for all these. So, you know, it was about an hour and a half printing these. I tried going a little bit faster, but the printer was acting a little bit weird. I am working on like getting my printer working right. I bought a feeler gauge, and the feeler gauge basically is just trying to test out the different lengths of where the nozzle should be as close to the print bed as possible. And I'm just testing with certain distances right now. But yeah. The biggest change I've made so far is the actual mounting. So this is one that's similar to a Monster Tech mount. So I just basically put this on there, and yeah, it works really good. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I used JB Weld on this to mount this to here. Basically just stick it to there, and it works really good. Aluminum extrusion for the actual mounting, not the mounting, but the structural side of it. I use this 3D printed this little like C-clamp, I guess, to it, so that the wires can stay organized and they're not all over the place, because in the past they were kind of wrapped up and they were annoying me. I cut the wire in half so it would actually fit on what I'm trying to do, because it was a little too long, and I just made them both the same size, and you'll see why in a minute when I pull out the next portion of this. But yeah, here is the panel, or the throttle, and the panel itself that adds onto it. So let's get on to the next one. So these are Cougar MFDs that I had built, and then there's an actual screen behind this that I can hook up to my computer and actually display things on here. These all light up. The throttle lights up as well. My other panel doesn't light up. I'm thinking about trying to find out a way to get that to happen, but for the time it doesn't light up. But moving on, the UFC, or the front panel of it, here it is. It is beautiful. It turned out really good. I'm happy how it turned out. The wiring was an absolute nightmare. It took about, I'd say, a little over 4 hours wiring all this up, and then in the end a bunch of switches didn't work, and it turned out I put way too many I didn't ground everything properly when I was wiring it up, I was trying to, in a hurry because I wanted to get done with it. And then after, it took me about an hour to assemble everything and put it all together. And then I spent 3 extra hours troubleshooting on why it wasn't working. I was taking off grounds, re-putting grounds back on. Some of the switches weren't working. Well, not the switches, but the actual pins on the Leo Bodnard board. It wasn't actually working. So I had to see what was going on with that. They were working. It's just some of the solder joints weren't as solid as I thought it was, and it wasn't making proper contact. And some of the solder wasn't properly melted, so like it wouldn't make contact. So it just wasn't as conductive. So if you don't wire the, when you're soldering, if you don't keep it the iron on there, if you keep the iron on there for too long, the solder, I forget what it's called, but basically the solder turns into something different that's like non-conductive, and it'll just won't be able to conduct electricity, so the current wasn't going through. But yeah, here is the panel. I'm using a WinWing F18 or F16 stick. I switched it out with my Warthog because it's kind of I was kind of over my Warthog. You know, it's really heavy. I like the weight of it, but the base was annoying the hell out of me, so I got rid of that. The backside, if you guys want to see the backside, here is the actual control board for the display. Here's the mount using JB Weld. If you guys are ever using, if you're building something and you want to connect, you want to attach something to like attach to straight to it, JB Weld is the way to go. This is proven not to be the best idea, but for the time being, this is the solution that I'm working with right now. It kind of bends a little bit when you're using it. It kind of bends backward a little bit, but I fixed that by tightening the nut here, and then back here there's on the inside there's a nut, the red M3 bolt that you can tighten, and it'll pull this closer to it and tighten it up. And this is how I got it to be as tight as it is now. Before it was really wobbling around, but I got it to be fixed by just tightening both sides. Same thing, same mounting system. Works really well. I'm happy with it. Yeah, the 3 screens with the panels on it, it's all the same. This right here, I need to actually plug this in here because I don't know why I have this unplugged. But basically, it attaches to here, this little, so the panel itself, it's all connected to here. And then when I want to, all I have to do is use one USB cable. But for my rudder pedals, I do have to use one by itself. So it uses one USB port, so I'd say 2. So right now I'm using 2 USB ports, and all I do is connect everything together into one USB hub. There's one hub down here that actually connects all this together, and then this connects to up here, and that's what this is for. This cable is for this panel right here, and this connects to the actual actual computer. So this cable connects to the computer. These 2 ports right here is for the throttle that I just showed you guys, and then this cable's right here. This port right here is for the other panel, the last panel. In the future, I do want to use, I do want to add another port, add another panel. The panel that I want to add is a landing gear handle. So before, if you guys have watched my videos, I was using this landing gear handle for it. I'm going to redesign it so that I don't have to, it's not so beefy, you know. I love how it does like this articulating motion, like how it's like you can't just push it, you actually have to pull it. So I want to do something similar to this, but instead of having this long kind of hallway, I guess, on this, it's just going to be a straight, it's going to look like a C, so that all you have to do is go up and down. And it's going to get rid of the need for the excessive over-engineering of this. So this is I'm going to keep this. This is like kind of like a relic of the past, because this is on one of my old panels that I used. I'll actually show you guys those. So here is the old panels. Yeah, they worked good for their time. This thing was impossible to mount. I had to, these were the two mounting. I honestly didn't have a good mounting system in before, you know, I was just kind of going with the flow, and I honestly should have just thought about it. And this is what I'm going to go with from now on. I'm always going to mount things this way. Going to use standoff screws and going to mount a back part of it, because like this looks 10 times better. It looks amazing. Before I had two clamps right here and you have to screw them down. It looked terrible. Bruh. I hated it so much. It was the same thing with this one. I had, as you can see, it's like two mounting holes, and because I couldn't fit one right here, I just pushed it over. It was terrible. I hated the design of it, and I wish I never did it like that. But this big square was basically for this landing gear handle, and yeah, that's why I removed it. The panel, so this was also designed to be sort of a de facto UFC panel, but the you know, it was too bulky, you know. I didn't like it. It was way too bulky. Again, relic of the past. Done with it. I wish I kept my old panel, my old right side panel that I had. It's on one of my YouTube videos. I'll actually show a picture of it in the video right now. It's a really old one. This is like my first like serious design of a right side panel, and then I just completely went nuts with the next one, with the next design. And as you can tell, like my designs are getting a lot better. They're starting to get more compact. They're starting to look at 10 times better. You can actually see the progression of how I built the panels and how they're getting a lot better from now on, prior to me doing a lot of this stuff. Actually, I can actually show you guys a picture, you know. Actually, I'm just gonna get it for you. I'm gonna show you guys my first ever panel that I built. So as you can see, like this is just, look at that. Oh God. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is terrible. All of the bend lines are just, ugh. Oh my God. Nothing, just, this is terrible. This is my first ever panel. You know, I kept this because, you know, I was just like, this is amazing. I can't wait to show people this. And then how far it progressed. I've unsoldered everything and removed all the switches that I was using, and I was using an Arduino. No, I was actually using one of these Amazon boards. I was using these Amazon boards. I bought so much of these, and they came in handy because they were amazing. It was only 12 points that you could use on it. These boards were just amazing. They just came in so handy because, you know, you could just add as many as you want on here, and they would just, you know, they would just stack up. So basically what I did is I got 3 USB-B cables and plugged them all together, and then wire them all together, and used one port. And although they weren't, I wish I was find a way to connect all of them together so they could all turn into one board, but I don't think you could do that. But yeah, these old panels and stuff, they went with that. But in the future, I'm going to be using an Atmega 2560, and yeah, I'm going to start using this from now on. I really do like the Leo Bodnard boards, but they're so expensive, and these are really easy to turn into a switch board that I can use for my flight sims and stuff. I want to be able to use the window interface with this, so like how you can go into the settings and use everything with the panels. But yeah, that's enough of the ranting for now. Let's get back to the actual video and talk about the panels that I built. So here is the middle control. So this is all my basically the main portion of the flight sim. It's like where everything is, like, you know, the beauty, the greatness of it all. It's all right here. So yeah, this mounting for this was previously used for the Warthog throttle base. So yeah, as you can see, like it's round. It was meant for the base of the Warthog throttle, but the screws on this Wind Wing and the Warthog line up perfectly. So I just used it. I just reused it. I'm thinking about making a panel, or not a panel, but like a mounting system for this, specifically for this Wind Wing. So, but yeah, here is the middle portion. Let's get on to the final and last part of the panels. So here is the final last one. This is one that I've featured on my channel before. This is my right side universal panel that I built. I'm actually thinking about selling these, building them and then selling them, fabricating them, putting the wires in. What I'm thinking about is actually building it all up, wiring it, and all you have to do is buy your own Leo board and cook everything up. Basically plug and play. And I'm thinking about it, but I haven't made a decision on it just yet. I'm not sure if people will buy it. I'll probably go on the Reddit, on the flight sim subreddit, and probably kind of, I guess, like feel out to see what people think about these panels, because I can definitely sell. People, I've already gotten good response from people on the subreddit talking about the addition to the Warthog throttle, how they think it's like a really good idea. So I'm thinking about either selling that, designing this in Inkscape or CAD, and then selling the designs, because man, this is a really good way to get people to start building their own things. You know, you got these professional companies out here selling these amazing stuff. God, they're either in China or some other country. I want to buy them, but it's such a long wait time, and I got to go through this weird payment system. I don't want to put my credit card or information. I wish they were on Amazon. I really wish they were, because WinWing and Virpil and VKB, they're not on Amazon at all. I can't find anything on Amazon. If they are on Amazon now, that would be dope. But I can't ever find WinWing, Virpil, or VKB on Amazon, and I really wish they were on eBay too. Buying on eBay is kind of weird with sellers. I'm pretty sure that a lot of them are on eBay, but the majority of the listings that I've seen are they're either $800 for like a throttle, and I'm not paying $800 for a throttle. That's ridiculous. But they're not, they're just people who's like trying to upsell just like scalping, I guess, the thing, like the flight sim equipment and everything. But as you can see, there's all the same stuff on here. I added the C brackets for each one, and this little thing right here. I basically just took I don't know if you can see down there, but there's like a little screw in there that I screwed into here. And then I cut a hole in this Velcro so it could fit through, and then I screwed it down and used this as a clamp, like I guess a holder for the cable. And the same mounting system, same exact thing. If you guys aren't using this mounting system, you're losing, man. This mounting system is amazing. It's simple, really good design. The designs I've had in the past, you gotta grow. You go with what you know. And after doing some research, I found out that you can actually buy these at $30, $30 a pop. Spent about $90 buying 3 of them, and so far I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. Aluminum extrusion, gotta get it. If you're using flight sim stuff, you gotta get aluminum extrusion. It works really well. Really love it. But yeah, that is basically the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed, please hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Like the video if you haven't already. If you didn't like the video, tell me where I can improve. And with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. you.